Welcome to week 14 of the math map about constructions. When Euclid needed to draw an equilateral triangle or copy a line segment of the same length or duplicate a direction, you can't just copy and paste. You can't just hold shift and click and drag. Had to do it on paper. They had to use tools. And classically, the tool set consisted of a straight edge and a compass. A compass for drawing circles would let you set a distance and match it somewhere else. And a straight edge, of course, lets you draw a line segment. It's hard to use a compass and will take practice, and certainly if you're going to use the compass, have your kids mess around and just start drawing circles for a while. And then if you want to go full Greek Euclid later, fine, with some practice. The math map gives you some alternative tool sets to use. One of them, especially good for little kids, is so-called patty paper. You can see through it to duplicate, and you can fold it for symmetry. And another tool set the math map shows is double edge straight edge. A straight edge with parallel edges. I recommend, if you're going to do this, work your way up to the serious compass and straight edge and practice yourself using the double edge straight edge constructions. Pick 2 or 3 that look cool to you and try them out on paper. Whatever you do, it certainly takes lots of practice. Just like braiding hair or crocheting, the first few times you do it will feel sloppy and clumsy. It takes practice. Why do this? Well, of course, the ancient Greeks didn't have computers, but also this gives you a hands-on, tactile approach to learning geometry and mathematical properties in 2 dimensions. The first thing I want to demonstrate using a double-edged straight edge is drawing a rhombus, and that's one of the key ingredients for a lot of the double-edged straight edge constructions. Using the double-edged straight edge, we draw 2 sets of crisscrossing parallel lines. The 4 places they intersect form a rhombus. So here we go. Hold the straight edge firmly. Draw a line. Draw the parallel line. Okay. Then crisscross through it. Hold the straight edge firmly. Draw a line. Draw another line. Now I have constructed a rhombus because it's a fixed distance apart from the geometric property of rhombuses, parallel edges, same length sides. I know it's a rhombus, and these are the 4 vertices. Moreover, they have this property. The diagonals, that is the line segments connecting the opposite vertices, are perpendicular bisectors of each other. Isn't that fun to say? That means they're at right angles where they intersect, and they intersect at their midpoints. So there's our first double-edged straight edge construction. At least do that, if nothing else, so you get a feel for how it works. At no point did I use the markings on my ruler. Where did those markings come from, right? I wouldn't have those. It's just a straight edge. You can use a bookmark or the edge of a book or piece of paper instead. Okay, the next construction we'll do, and this one I think is cool, is I'm going to just plop down on the page the starting point, a line and a point not on the line. Here's a line, and here's a point not on the line. And I want to construct a parallel line through that point. A sketch would just be, we'll just kind of line it up, scooch it over, eyeball it, and shunk, there's your parallel line. That's fine for a sketch, but that's not a construction. Whenever you're eyeballing it, as we say, you're visually estimating. A construction, though, uses the tools and the properties of geometry to for sure know this is parallel, as precisely as possible as I can make it with a human. This is going to be the top one of the vertices of a parallelogram. I'm going to create the remaining construct the remaining vertices using this double-edged straight edge here, here, and here, and then connect it and know they're parallel. Here's how we do it. Line up the double-edged straight edge, the outer edge of it, and it doesn't matter the angle, and draw a line that goes through the point and the existing line. Now, on the other side of it, draw a line. This is going to be the middle of the parallelogram. Line up this double-edged straight edge. Notice that's not visual estimating. I'm allowed to do that with this tool set. I am aligning it physically. Then the outermost side this way of the double-edged straight edge, trace another line. Now, here's one of the vertices. Here's one of the vertices. That was the existing point. I want to get a vertex here. I'm going to get the diagonal through these 2 points, and then they intersect at the center, and then I'll draw the line through this point and the center, and it will necessarily hit where the remaining vertex is. Here we go. Draw the diagonal here, the target point, and this point connect with a line segment. There's the center point. I'm allowed to use that now. That center point and this vertex connect with a line and extend it. And where it hits here, because it's going through the center, I know, as much as I can make it, that's the remaining vertex of this parallelogram. Connect these points with the straight edge, and I will have my parallel line. There are my parallel lines. I hope you enjoyed seeing this. Start with those and work your way up. It's a lot of fun doing hands-on geometry. I'll end with a gospel connection. You'll read it in the notes for this video, but I can't help but think of the intelligence behind design. When you see these diagrams, even the first drafts, you know those didn't just happen of their own accord. It took a consciousness, a person, and intelligence. Likewise, when we see God's creation, may geometric constructions and all the properties and order and geometry as you design and construct make you think of how what we see, the intricate world working around us, designed by its creator. God's eternal power and divine nature are clearly seen from what has been made. Thank you for watching. Have fun learning.